All right, welcome back everyone here on Pride Sports Media. My name is Andrew Hernandez, and today we are breaking down the Big Northern Conference for football week 2 right here. So I'm here as well. This is right here. Emily, look. This is my dog, Emily. She wanted to come up here, introduce. So she just sitting on me, like loving me. So there she is. Got a camera. She want to come hang out here. So now we talk about the Big Northern Conference today. So last week we had a couple games. Dixon pulled an upset last week after beating Stillman Valley at Stillman. Also, Byron actually didn't left off like they were last year, but this year they're hoping to get back to a state title in Class 3A, and once we get down there to the postseason. All right. So today we're breaking down all the games from the Big Northern Conference. So we're going to kick off with the game breakthrough, as this week we'll have 4 on Friday night and only 1 will be played on Thursday night football, presented by Amazon Prime. I'm just joking. That's what someone said that I remember from Meet the Rockets. They said, "We'll see you for Thursday night football presented by Amazon Prime." You know, that's currently an NFL on Thursday night football. If you ever watch it on Amazon Prime, the last time I ever watched Thursday night football was probably when it was on Fox. I remember it was on NBC and CBS too. If you guys ever watch NFL football on Thursday night, so we're gonna kick off with Thursday night football. All right, moving on. All right, so kicking off on Thursday night is Stillman Valley and Rock Falls. So both teams had coming off of losses from last week. Stillman lost last week at home, kicking off the season, with Dixon last week kicking off at home. They lost. They kicked off the season. The Rock Falls also began on the road as well, losing their season opener to Byron 77-6. So this game will be played at Rock Falls. So we'll be there, probably getting highlights and all that on as well. So currently right now, I think this game is going to be Stillman. I know a lot of people are going to pick Stillman Valley Cardinals, to win this one. But also, well, you never know from Rock Falls too. Like, for one, I thought they were going to compete in the first quarter. The first part, when Byron scored his first touchdown, they just competed with them, making sure they don't get in. That's what the Rock Falls teams are. All right, next up is our Friday night games, and our first one is Rockford Christian at Winnebago. Both teams are coming off losses in week 1. Rockford Christian lost to Genoa Kingston, and Winnebago lost last Friday night to Rockford Lutheran. So Bago, one of their top runners, is another than state champion in the 200-meter dash in Class 1A, Supreme Mohammed. If you guys have ever heard of Supreme Mohammed, man, he is fast. He won the state champion for the 200. So our next up, we'll stay in the Rockford area, and that's Rockford Lutheran and Byron. Both teams won their week 1 opener last week. Lutheran hoping to compete this season. They kind of shocked me as well. I thought Bago was going to win it because, for one, last year Bago also made the playoffs, and also Lutheran also made the playoffs as well. So Lutheran, they kind of shocked me by beating Winnebago, blowing them out. So next up, and you don't sleep on Byron too. Like, Byron, they're actually good. They're actually the favorites to win it in 3A. Them, Princeton, Elmhurst, IC Catholic, Prep, all of that too. Because I think Byron, it's going to be a close one. I think in this close one, I would have to go with Byron as well. All right, next up in Oregon, we got Dixon, Oregon, 2 1-0 teams kicking off the season strong. So Oregon got a overtime win over North Boone, 6-0. Dixon shocking Stillman Valley as well. I had to go with Dixon. I think Dixon, they're going to be a big time contender for the Big Northern Conference title once we get down there towards the season, unless it comes down to them going down to Byron. as well. And next up is Genoa Kingston and North Boone. So my pick for this one is going to be Genoa Kingston. I think Genoa Kingston, they're trying to get back to. All right, next up is we're going to do the Western Big Six for week 2. So our first one for the Western Big Six is 2 1-0 teams, and that is Bennett Academy and Moline. Moline last week got a huge win over Glennsbar North. Bennett Academy, I don't know who they played, but they're probably going to be good as well. So a rematch of, I say Bennett always plays Moline, even though if it comes to like any sport, like, you know, boys basketball, they played them as well for the state title for last year at Champaign. So I know Moline won the state title as well in boys basketball too, but football, they're actually contenders as well in football too. Because Moline, they're kind of like a city of champions in the Western Big Six. I don't know. All right, moving on. Geneseo, Great Lakes, and Central. So Geneseo last week, huge win over Chicago School last week. So they're kicking off strong. If Geneseo, I got to go with Geneseo. I think they're going to win at 2-0, kick off 2-0 the season. All right, so next up is Quincy and Halton. So the Redbirds are 0-2. Quincy came in with the win last week over Quincy Notre Dame. So my pick for this one is actually going to be Quincy as well. I think last year, that playoff experience, you know, they're going to have. Let's see that. Or next up is. Good then. All right, next up is Sterling and St. Francis. The Sterling last week got a loss, 1-1 loss, 17-28 to Metamora last week at Metamora. So Sterling's. So I think next week as well, this week. So Sterling's coming in with a home opener on Friday night against Wheaton St. Francis, a state-ranked team in Class 4A. So this is the same team last year who knocked out a really good Rochelle team in the quarterfinals. So the Golden Warriors, it's going to be a huge test for them. For one, they want to kick off 1-1. So the last 2 years, they actually kicked off 1-1 this season, week 1 and 2. Is week 1 and week 2 actually. So I know 2 years, like 2021, they kicked off with a win against Lakes, and last year in Montini, they 1 year. Then also this is going to be the game of the week, our Friday game of the week between the two. So I bet, you know, St. Francis, they came off a quarterfinal appearance. Not a quarterfinal appearance, I mean a semifinal appearance, yeah, in 4A. Because they got a really good quarterback. I know that. I've heard a lot about, but I might have to go with St. Francis this game as well. Because last week I had Sterling, you know, beating Metamora because I thought they were going to leave off where they were. All right, so we got a couple of games Saturday. So UT is the only team playing Saturday afternoon. So against Montreal Grub, and they say they have a game versus Loyola Academy. I don't know which one of the two they're playing. All right, moving on from the Western Big Six. Now we're at the Kishwaukee Interstate 8 Conference. So only one out of the white division, out of the Kishwaukee Interstate 8, and that is Woodstock North versus Harvard. Both teams coming off a winless. So both teams lost their season openers. I mean, not home openers, to Harvard and Woodstock North. Well, moving to Friday night is Woodstock and Marengo, both winless as well. Metamora also coming in 1-0. They're taking on LaSalle Peru as well. We got Canelan also traveling somewhere. I forgot his Wakanda. Joliet West versus Morris, probably a good one out of that division too. Streeter and Ottawa to another good rivalry one. And then Simeon versus Sycamore. Oh man, Chicago Simeon. you never sleep on. Never know. Sycamore is challenging a team out of the Chicago Public League. That game is going to be a good one in Chicago between Simeon and Sycamore. Sycamore, they're actually one of the top-ranked teams, actually, I believe, in Class 5A. So Sycamore actually is coming off a win over DeKalb. A big rivalry game last week as well. So now we move on to the other side of the conference. Kishwaukee Interstate Blue. So here we go. Kicking off Thursday night is Peotone and Sandwich. Both teams kick off 1-0. Peotone, whatever the team is called, I believe that Sandwich is playing. So last year I actually watched them live on TV where they lost to Princeton last year in Class 3A. Both teams kick off 1-0 and started a good strong season for both of them. So I gotta go with either one of them. You know, it's gonna be a tight game. All right, Richmond Burton and Quincy Notre Dame, another one. So Quincy Notre Dame, QND, coming off a loss to crosstown rival Quincy last Friday night as well. I was watching that game on NFHS. It was a good one too. All right, Plano and Matino, I think it's called. So Plano kicked off 1-0 with a huge win over Ottawa. And then another good one Friday night, Morton and Rochelle as well out of there. And then Woodstock and Marengo. That's another one as well. So now we go to the Three Rivers Division. So Montroseville, Bureau Valley, they're kicking off 1-0 after a win over Erie Propstown. Montroseville coming off a loss this week from Princeton. So Princeton, another good one to watch out for this upcoming season. So Princeton, they're going to be a good one. So next up is Morrison, Princeton. Both teams kicking off 1-0. Morrison coming off a win over Morrison. Morrison coming off a win over Mendota. And Princeton's coming off a win over Montroseville. And we have one team out of their division playing non-conference, that is Rock Ridge. Rock Ridge also coming off a loss from Sterling Newman. And then you got other games like Spring Valley Hall and Riverdale. I think Riverdale's coming off a win over, I think, Orion. And then we got Erie Propstown and Kewanee, Orion, Mendota, and you got Riverdale Hall as well then. So also Riverdale also making a return to the varsity season after missing out on the 2022 season as well. So this is their return season. And next up we got on Saturday night, Sherrard and Sterling Newman. And then we got also out of the Three Rivers, Mississippi. My bad. So I'm going to try to find the Mississippi division out of the Three Rivers. Or is Newman like the only game they got? Oh, I just said every one of them. All right. Moving on to... All right, we're going to move on to... If I can find the conference. Northwest Upstate Illini. All right. Every game is played on Friday night for 5 games. So Dupec and Eastland Pearl City. Dupec coming off 1-0. Eastland Pearl City, 0-1. Then Fulton and Lee win, another good one out of the Northwest Upstate Illini Conference. And that is Lena Winslow, the defending state champs, taking on Fulton. Then you got Haysworth taking on Stockton, and then Forreston and Dakota, and then Galena and West Carroll. Also another one as well. So all of them are played on Friday night under the Friday Night Lights. If you follow the Northwest Upstate Illini Conference. So now is the find it. Nick 10. We're gonna do Nick 10. Lauren, Illinois. Nick 10. All right, the Nick 10. So we have Friday night. All the games played Friday night. Belvedere taking on Freeport. Both teams also coming up 1-1, I believe. We got Rockford East and Rockford Belvedere North. Rockford East, and you got Boylan and Rockford Jefferson, Guilford and Rockford Auburn. I was watching Guilford also on Clutch Sports Media 815 as well. All right, so that was the video. So if you like it, just leave a like and also subscribe down least. So thanks for watching.